Hey everybody, it's Mark the Game Shark here with another collection video. And today I'm going to be showing my Laserdisc collection. So, I was, live streaming, my buddy Joel. He was, asking, like, oh, when are you going to show your, Laserdisc collection? Because he was asking if I still collect Laserdisc. And I don't know, I kind of stopped because I have no room for any more Laserdisc. But, if I can get maybe one or two maybe, but yeah, I really slowed down because I have nowhere to put them. I'm still debating if I should make another tub dedicated to Laserdisc, because right now I have this whole tub right here, which as you can't see, and then this is my overstack collection of Laserdiscs. So how I started collecting Laserdisc, I was cleaning my grandparents' house, and my grandfather, he collected Laserdiscs, and I remember watching Laserdisc. I remember being obsessed with the Pinocchio Laserdisc he had, which you'll see in a moment is in here. And we were cleaning out. I was like, oh, I know a lot of my friends have Laserdisc. I would like to. I'd rather his collection and go to people that collect Laserdiscs, so they're actually appreciated. I wanted to go to like Goodwill or whatever, where it'll probably just sit there collecting dust, or no one that wants it would appreciate it. So I brought it all home with me, and I thought I was gonna get kicked out of the house, but my girlfriend's like, "Oh, okay, whatever." So then I was like, "Oh, maybe I can just bring the Laserdisc player in the game room." So I made a few adjustments here on my entertainment center, and I was able to put the Laserdisc player in here. And before I decided to start collecting Laserdisc, I was like, well, I didn't even know if the thing worked or not, because my grandfather said it wasn't working or whatever, but I tested it, and it was playing the disc I put in there, fine. So at first the remote wasn't working. I was like, oh, well, this sucks. I really can't collect something that you need the remote. You can't pause, stop, or do anything. So I ended up taking out, using a contact cleaner on the contacts for the battery, put fresh new batteries in, and sure enough the remote worked. I was like, oh, sweet. So it was actually a working player. And I reached out to some of my friends, Type White, I think I forget who else. I think Jimbo and my buddy Fred, if they wanted any of these, because I didn't think I was going to be able to have a Laserdisc collection. So I really wanted it because it was definitely nostalgic for me, and it's my grandfather's collection. I would definitely want to have that collection. So I ended up trading off stuff because I wasn't gonna be a dick about it and be like, oh, by the way, I decided to keep all of the Laserdiscs. So I was like, okay, whatever, they can have whatever they want. And yeah, I ended up making my own collection pretty much. I still have a lot of my grandfather's stuff. A lot of it I had to throw away because if you guys don't know already, Laserdiscs are prone to disc rot. So that's probably why my grandfather thought that the Laserdisc player wasn't working, because he probably put in a disc that had disc rot in it. So a lot of the movies I had to throw out, and so I was like, well, I don't want to make a collection video because I don't want to show a whole bunch of movies that I won't be in the collection anymore, because either I'm not interested in the movie or they had disc rot, which was a lot of the times was the case. There's plenty of movies I was like, I don't even want this in the collection. I just traded it to the old record store that was down the street, and I bought movies that I actually wanted, which I'll go over as I go through the collection. So yeah, so that's pretty much my spiel of how I got into collecting Laserdiscs, and without further ado, let's get started. So first up, we got At Home with Donald Duck. Now, I don't even remember watching this as a kid. I don't even think I did, but it's my grandparents' movie, so that's the first one. I guess I'm gonna lean all the disc over here and have my foot there so they don't fall over. Next up is a great Don Bluth film, The Secret of Nymph. And this is just a great film. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Next up, we got a classic, Mrs. Doubtfire. And, oh yeah, before I move on, I definitely want to apologize for any glare that you may see because of everything's in protective sleeves. So, I apologize ahead of time. Next up, we got Jerry Maguire. This is a classic movie. Show me the money, Jerry. And one thing I love about Laserdisc, which I'll show if I can, let me see. Does this show it? And we got The Fugitive. My grandfather had The Fugitive, but it had disc rot in it, and I was so into the movie, I was like, oh, I really want to watch this. I haven't seen this in ages. I ended up rebuying this at the record store that used to be down the street, and sure enough, that copy worked perfectly. Next we got The Flintstones on Laserdisc. I used to have this on VHS back in the day, and now I got it on Laserdisc. We got a classic, Face Off. And some of these are this has like a binder inside, so you like open it up and it has like a whole bunch of stuff about the actors and the production of the movie. That's one thing I really love about Laserdisc. They add that extra feature. It's before special features were even a thing. Next up we got Point of No Return with Bridget Fonda. This movie was a pretty good movie. Next we have Rise the Titanic. This is good. I have a note there saying that there's disc rot, but it doesn't really affect the movie that much. Like, it's like snowy in one part of the movie, but other than that, it's not too bad. It's still watchable. So that's why I decided to keep it. And I don't think that's not even on DVD. I think that's only on Laserdisc and VHS. Oh. We got Hard Target with Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's a very good action movie, by the way. Next up, we got Dave, which I've never even heard of this movie. This is a really good movie. There's a lot of movies in here that I've never even... I mean, I heard of this movie, I just never seen it. And it's a really good movie. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. So there's a lot of them that are in here that I'd never seen before, and I was like, wow, that's really good. Next up, we got Schindler's List from Steven Spielberg. This is a classic, absolute classic. Next up, we have another classic, Black Hole. This was an okay movie. It was kind of interesting, but I know it has a huge fan base around it. Which, funny enough, I didn't even know about it until after I saw the movie. Then people were like, oh, Black Hole, Black Hole. I'm like, what? Really? Alright, next up, we have Outbreak. Or better known as COVID-19. Now, this is a really good movie. Highly recommended. Next up, we have a silent film, and I didn't think I was going to like silent films, but this is actually a really good movie. It's called Metropolis. Very good movie. And this one is a instant classic. We got Forrest Gump. Stupid is. Life is like a stupid is as stupid does. And life is like a box of chocolates. And all those other quotes from the movie. Bubblegum shrimp and all that silly nonsense. And this one also has a trifold. When you take it out, they go over like stuff about the production and all that stuff. It's really interesting. This one I never heard of, but it was a fantastic movie. The Ghost in the Darkness. Highly recommended. Very good movie. This is actually based on a true story as well. So yeah, pretty interesting. All these movies keep falling over. This is another one that I never seen before, and it's a fantastic movie. It's Memphis Belle. It's about World War II. These kids fly this bomber aircraft, and it's really good. And this is always a classic. We got The Wizard of Oz on Laserdisc. What more needs to be said about The Wizard of Oz? Such a fantastic movie. This was an okay movie. John Carpenter's Starman. It was kind of interesting. I think the guy was like an alien or something. It's been a while since I watched this movie. Yeah, her husband ended up dying and he like became an alien or something. I forget. I'll have to give that a rewatch. Stop trying to stay over there. Jesus. And then we got Assassins, another pretty good action movie. Next up we got Courage Under Fire. This one was alright. I think I had to watch it again to figure more of the movie out, but it was okay. Not the best film. Maybe you guys might like it, but I'll probably have to give that another watch. This is a classic. The French Connection. This is a really good movie. It has Gene Hackman in it. And Roy Scheider from Jaws is in this one. And we got The Emerald Forest. This was a really good movie. Highly recommended. I had no idea what the hell this was even about, but it's apparently based on a true story. Yeah, so highly recommended. And this is a classic. Mel Gibson's Braveheart. This is a very good movie. And another one. They're all going to be good movies. Jesus. Days of Thunder. This movie's hilarious. Such a good film. Oh, these damn movies are falling, shifting over here. Hold on, let me try and shift these down. Oh my god. Wouldn't be so bad if these movies didn't weigh 900 pounds each. Then we got this one, Rob Roy. Everyone owned this movie and no one watched it. So I actually watched it, and it's actually a really good movie, to be honest. I really enjoyed this one. And here we go. Here's the one I played the hell out of as a kid. We got Walt Disney's Pinocchio. Such a classic film. See? The original movie that I always watched at my grandparents' house. Next up we got The Untouchables. Such a classic movie. This one's always a good watch. I should rewatch some of these Laserdisc again. Oh my god, this one is so funny. I didn't even know what to expect of this movie, but I was dying laughing. And that movie is Coast to Coast. Unfortunately, I don't think this came out on DVD. It's only Laserdisc and VHS. So if you're a VHS enthusiast or a Laserdisc enthusiast, I highly recommend checking this one out. Yeah, I don't think any streaming services offer this movie, which is highly unfortunate. This is such a hilarious movie. Oh my gosh. I should watch that again, actually. Could use a good laugh. Next up is another classic, Contact. Such a good movie. Kind of goofy in the middle. I think the middle or the ending was a little weird, but it wasn't too bad. This one's a silly one. Air America. What a goofy movie. With Mel Gibson and a young Robert Downey Jr. Well, they're both young, but Mel Gibson's, he doesn't age at all, but now he's like super old. Then we got another one of these Disney movies, Escape to Witch Mountain. Which mountain? I don't know. So this was an okay movie. It's pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. Oh, this one was a classic. Is it this one I'm thinking of? No, this was okay. Starting Over on Laserdisc. It's like a couple, they get divorced, and I forget what else happens. It's been a while, but there you go. And this is a super instant classic, Stargate on Laserdisc. Such a good movie. It's better than that Game Gear game, that's for damn sure. Then we got another Val Kilmer flick, The Saint. Seems like my grandparents were obsessed with Val Kilmer back in the day. I think I have like every single movie he's ever played. Except one that I had to throw out thanks to the disc rod, unfortunately. That was a good movie. I forget what the name of it was. It was like about the drug war and all this other stuff. It was really good. Next up, we got Clear and Present Danger with Harrison Ford. That's a classic movie. Speaking of, I think all these movies are classics. We have Apollo 13. Tom Hanks. And this one, this is a funny one. Oh my God. Chevy Chase and Foul Play. Oh my God. Oh, so hilarious and so goofy. Oh my God. If you guys haven't seen this, I would highly recommend checking this out. I don't know if this is on DVD or whatnot, but if you can track it down and definitely give this one a watch. I've never even heard of it. And I was like, oh, Chevy Chase, it has to be good. Oh my God. I was dying laughing. Such a good movie. And this is another Chevy Chase one. It isn't as funny, but it's got its moments. Deal of the Century. It's kind of a goofy movie. I mean, what else do you expect from Chevy Chase? This one's pretty interesting. The China Syndrome. About the nuclear power plant. This is pretty interesting. No, it wasn't about Chernobyl. Jesus, stay. Oh, these stinking Laserdisc are driving me crazy. Go over there. Jesus. We got... This one's pretty funny. California Suite. This is hilarious. Oh my God. It was okay, but towards the end of the movie, I was cracking up laughing. Such a good movie. We got... So that basically ends my grandfather's collection of what I kept and what worked of his Laserdisc. The rest are basically what I've added to the Laserdisc collection. Starting off with a classic, The Sword in the Stone. I love this movie as a kid. Oh my god, I played the hell out of this movie on VHS when I had it. And now I have it on a Laserdisc. Oh, this way. Next up, we got Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is a classic movie. So good. Next up, we got Bram Stoker's Dracula. Yeah, see, even the back, like, they talk about, like, production and, like, the movie and all that stuff. It's basically, like, the making of, pretty much. So it's pretty awesome how they added that to Laserdiscs. This is probably one of my pricier ones we got. I Spit on Your Grave. The original, not the remake, obviously, because it's Laserdisc. You're not going to get the remake on Laserdisc, unfortunately. But one thing I loved about this, if you don't know, this woman gets, like, beat up and raped and by all these guys. And then it's basically like, that's the beginning, and then the first half, and then the second half, she gets her revenge on them. So one cool thing about this Laserdisc is side A is when, the guys, they beat up on her and all that. And then when you flip it to side B is when she gets her revenge. So I thought that was kind of neat with this Laserdisc. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Such a classic. Next up, we got Romancing the Stone. This is a pretty good one. This one was okay. Drop Zone. He's kind of interesting. Then we got Interview with the Vampire. Tom Cruise movie. Which I haven't seen that until I got it on Laserdisc. It was a decent flick. And we got The Thing. Such a classic. Kurt Russell. Then we got What's in the Box? We got 7 on Laserdisc. What's in the box? I wonder if people that share that meme, like, what's in the box, actually know what's in the box. Like, I know what it is. Then next up, we got Species. And then one of my favorite horror movies, The Shining on Laserdisc. Such a classic. And then we got a new Laserdisc, Flashdance. I've never seen this. It's still sealed. And so this little section I have a sealed. This is like the sealed movies. We got Fierce Creatures, which looks really good. Has the guys from Monty Python in there. We got John Cleese, Kevin Kline. Then we got the Marx Brothers, Animal Crackers. This is sealed. I haven't seen it. So that's all. Those ones were sealed. Now back to the ones that aren't sealed. The Apple Dumpling Gang. This is, oh my god, this was one of my favorite movies back in the day. I'm super stoked to own it on Laserdisc. I've never seen the sequel. So I'll have to see if I can track down the sequel on Laserdisc or Blu-ray or whatever. But this is such a great family film. Next up we got Sneakers. This is actually a really good movie. I don't know what to expect of this movie, but it's a fantastic movie. It's like about stealth, and they're sneaking into sneakers. They're sneaking into a building. It's not about shoes. If you think that, they're wrong. Next up, we got Jade. which I've never seen, but it's pretty good. Pretty good movie. A very old movie with Sigourney Weaver, Half Moon Street. This was really good. Next up we got Single White Female with Bridget Fonda. Damn movies. Next we got Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies. This is a really good movie. Then we got Dick Tracy on Laserdisc. This is always an instant classic. I'm surprised they didn't do any more with Dick Tracy. This was a pretty interesting movie. Sleepers. Yeah, this was a very good movie. Very crazy. Then we got a classic, The Hunt for Red October. Then we got Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train. This is a very good one. I don't know if many people know about this one, but this is a classic Hitchcock film. This one was hilarious. I've never even heard of this movie. Bullets Over Broadway. Oh my God, this was such a silly movie. I think Fred was the one saying he didn't enjoy this movie, but I enjoyed it. It was such a hilarious movie. So good. Next up is The Puppet Masters. This is a good one as well. And a classic family film. We got Rick Moranis and Ed O'Neill in Little Giants. Next up, this was a pretty good movie. I didn't think it was going to be that good. It's kind of long, so keep that in mind. It's the House of Spirits. It was actually a pretty decent movie. Next up, we got The Bodyguard. Very good movie. Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. Next up, we got, this is a classic one, Damn Yankees. This was a pretty good movie. And I'm not really into musicals, but this one's actually pretty decent. Yes, that's what I mean to say. It's a musical. Next up, we got Boxcar Beretta. This is a pretty good one. And this is actually pretty interesting. This is a true story with Robert De Niro and Robin Williams in Awakenings. This was such a good movie. I was like, I couldn't believe this was based on a true story. But if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Oh, my foot. It's getting stuck with all my damn movies. Oh, shit. Don't want to cooperate, as always. I think this little section is sealed as well. We got Blackboard Jungle, which I think this one is a pretty controversial film, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but let me know if you guys seen that one. Then we got the winner still sealed. Haven't seen it. And the damn movies are trying to go under the freaking under the damn couch. Got American Buffalo. Then we got Matthew Broderick, Biloxi Blues. Biloxi Blues. And that's it with that sealed little portion. Next we got Ed and His Dead Mother. This is pretty funny movie. This was actually pretty interesting too. The Amy Fisher story with very young Drew Barrymore. Not as E.T. young, but still young nonetheless. Very classic movie. The Client. This was a fantastic movie. Oh my god, so good. I started this. I couldn't stop until it was finished. So good of a movie. I mean, isn't that what you normally do when you watch movies? But still, I didn't even want to pause or anything. Then we got Tom Cruise. This is a kind of a silly ass movie. It's Risky Business. It's kind of silly. Can you not try to go under the goddamn couch? Yes. And last one in the bin here, we got Primal Fear with Richard Gere. Oh man, Jesus, half hour. God damn, I didn't want this video. Well, what can I say? I have so many Laserdiscs. So I apologize for this video being long. I really don't like making long videos, but when you have this many videos, and I really hope, it gives you guys some insight of maybe some movies you might want to watch, and maybe oh, let me check out that flick. If you guys have watched any of these movies, let me know what your thoughts on them are and whatnot. So this is going to be my overflow collection. Oh, that's not in the plastic tub. So we have Falling Down with Michael Douglas. This is a good movie. It's kind of silly, but I was like, really? When I watched it, I was like, really? This was funny too. House Guest. Such a good one with Sinbad. This one, I would recommend watching twice. It's the Coen. I think it's their debut album, the Coen Brothers, and that is Blood Simple. I mean, I could be wrong. I know it's done by the Coen Brothers, but this was a very good movie. Very interesting, to be honest. But yeah, I had to after watching, I was like, wait, what happened? Because it's definitely something you need to pay attention to figure out what happens in the movie. It's really, really interesting. Next up, we have FX. Murder by Illusion. This is actually a really good movie. It's kind of I've never even heard of it, but this was a fantastic movie. And to go along with that, we have the sequel, FX2. So it's still another great movie. So good. I never even heard of FX. Have you guys? Because I haven't, and it's a fantastic movie. This is just an instant classic. American Graffiti. Next up, so hilarious. We got Airplane. Oh yeah. Oh my god, one of my favorite all-time comedies. Comedies of all time, rather. If I can talk correctly. Yeah, speaking of Laserdisc, one thing I would love to get is Airplane 2 on Laserdisc. I only have the first one. So I think there's a couple Laserdisc I would like to get to complete a set. That being one of them. And we'll get to the other one in here in just a bit. We got Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. A lot of people didn't like Robert De Niro in this. I thought he did an excellent job in it as Frankenstein. Next up, I haven't watched this movie so many times as a kid. And that's Kindergarten Cop. Now I know there's a sequel. I think there's 3 of them, but this is the best one. Like, I heard those other ones are complete shit, and it's like not even worth a watch. Like, that's how bad they are. But this one is a classic. Next up, we got another classic, which I'm surprised they never made a sequel or did anything else with it, and that's The Rocketeer. Such a great film. And then we got a classic horror movie, Slumber Party Massacre 2. So, with Driller Killer, I think that's what they call him. Next up, we got Cliffhanger. Such a classic movie. I think it was actually my first time watching this movie, and it's really good. I enjoyed it. Oh, so this is the one I went the original for. We have Hot Shots Part 2. I would love to get original Hot Shots on Laserdisc, so that way I have the 1 and 2 of the set. This is such a silly movie. Oh my God, Charlie Sheen is hilarious in this. This was a good movie. And that's The River Wild. I never even heard of it, but it's fantastic. So good. Very suspenseful. Next up, this is actually based on a true story, and I don't think anyone watching has heard of this movie, and that is Citizen X. It's about this serial killer that killed, like, how many girls? Like 20 girls, and they never were able to catch him. And it's crazy story. Oh my gosh. So, highly recommended. Next up, we got an instant classic. How many times have I said that? Shit. This was a drinking game. You guys all would be, like, fucking obliterated. And that's Ferngully. Yes. Such a good movie. I got the CAV version. So CAV basically holds less video per disc. It holds half an hour video, but gives you a lot better picture and sound. But the unfortunate thing is it takes more discs to put it. You can actually get the 1 disc version of this, the CLV, which holds an hour per disc. So these will only hold a half hour per side. So there's 3 discs in here. Oh wait, no, it's not a half hour. I might be incorrect. It's only 76 minutes, and there's 3 sides. I don't know. I'll put a link in the description. The difference between CLV and CAV. I can't think off the top of my head, but yeah, this has shorter recording. Basically, the gist is this has shorter recording time, which needs more disc to cover the whole movie. Next up, we got Indecent Proposal. This was a pretty interesting movie. Then we got this. I ended up buying for my daughter. The Land Before Time 3, The Time of the Great Giving. This is a pretty good movie. It's kind of cheesy, but it's pretty good. I loved the. Okay, the jump cut. Damn it. So I love the original Land Before Time, and I've never seen the third one. I think they made like 6 or 7 Land Before Times. I didn't even know that. I only knew about the first one, but the third one is actually a pretty decent movie. Next up, we got Angels with Dirty Faces. And if you guys are unaware, this is the movie semi-based off of the mob movie in Home Alone, where Kevin watches and he gets scared of it. It's loosely based. I would say it's loosely based on this, but yeah, this is where they came up with that part of the movie with this movie. Next we got, this is a corny movie, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I mean, it's I don't know, it has its, I don't know what to think about this movie. It's okay, it's kind of cheesy, but any of you guys watch this silly movie? Next up we got a very good movie, The Rescue. Such a good movie. Oh my gosh. And you don't hear anyone talking about this movie. This is a classic. My buddy Jimbo ended up giving me a copy of this. And yeah, it's really good. Which I don't even think you can get on, I don't think you can get that on DVD. Like, I think that's might be my only Laserdisc only movie. We got, I mean, I could be wrong. I haven't really put much research into it. Next we got Amos and Andrew. Such a good movie. I'm kind of like, oh man, some parts I'm like, really? Why'd they do that? Next up, like, I'm not really into Westerns, but I can vouch for this one. The Quick and the Dead was a fantastic movie. So good. Same with this Western movie. Unforgiven. This is an instant classic as well. So good. With Clint Eastwood. Even if you're not into Westerns, I highly recommend watching that. And we got these two. We got Undercover Blues. This was an okay movie. Not too bad. It wasn't laugh out loud funny, like it says in the back. And last but not least, we got Beetlejuice on Laserdisc. And there you go, guys. That's my Laserdisc collection as of recording this video. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what do you guys think, if you guys collect Laserdisc as well. I know a lot of my subscribers collect VHS. I'm more into Laserdisc, as you can tell. Even though it's a heavier medium, damn things weigh a ton. Like, I think one Laserdisc weighs as much as 2 records glued together, which is basically what it is. Well, not records, but like actual big discs. Actually, you know what? I'll show you guys a Laserdisc before I finish here. So take out Beetlejuice since it's right there. This is basically what a Laserdisc looks like. A big old record-ish disc. And right here it's basically 2 pieces of plastic glued together in the center there. That's why it's really thick. And there you go. And I'll tell you, it usually tells you what side you're on. There's side 1, and the other side is side 2. So yeah. So there you go, guys. Have any questions? Feel free to let me know in the comments, and I'm going to cut this video because it's super long. I do apologize. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till next time, this is Mark the Game Shark signing out. Have a good night.